Hey everybody, and welcome back to Koi Pond Lifestyle. So what have we got on this week? Right now then, holidays. How many people have not had a holiday now for nearly 3 years? Me, and I'm sure there's loads of you as well that have been at exactly the same point. So I saw a cracking video the other day by Lee at the Japanese water garden. Not been up to see him yet, but it's on my list of places to go and visit, so I can tick it. So I'm going to go and visit him one day. But I watched a video of his the other day when he was talking about people going on holiday and what to do and how to prep your pond and your filters and yourself and the fish and loads of other things before you go away and leave the pond for maybe up to 2 weeks. So what would I do? So today I'm going to have a look at what I would do if I was going away for, what, I don't know, people go away for 12 or 15, 14 nights, something like that, and you're abroad, you're away, you're nowhere near to answer the phone, you're nowhere near in case on your little CCTV you see that the water's disappearing, you're nowhere close if your pump fails, if your air fails, if all of a sudden you get a drop of water because some of the hose has burst, or there's loads and loads of different things that can go wrong when you're not here. I'm going to move a few things around, so I'm going to take out things that I don't need. For example, the sky pond, I'll probably think about removing that, cleaning it up, put it in storage for a couple of weeks, because it's only going to go green anyway. I mean, it's been there now for nearly 2 weeks, and it's greening up because it's been quite sunny. I've got an open top pond, so what happens when we're away, and if we have a sudden increase in temperature again, so someone comes out and we get this massive increase in temperature again, how are the fish going to fend for themselves? Because I can't keep the brolly there. Because if it goes the other way round and we have high winds and brolly goes off to next door or behind the estate somewhere. So there's a number of things that I've got to keep an eye on. I'm also going to be looking at how I'm going to manage the filters as well. Because again, the filters are going to have to look after themselves. There's nobody here to check them, change them or whatever. So there's that little issue as well. So let's go on. There's a number of things that I've been ticking away in my head and I've been writing down and thinking, if I was going away for 11 days, how am I going to manage what I'm doing around my pond? Let's go. Right, so let's start off around the pond. First of all, my sun brolly does a cracking job when I'm here because I can manage it and I know what's happening with it. I just kind of wind it up and put it out, and if the wind gets too much I wind it back down again, but I'm not here to do it. So we're going to have to remove it. That's going to be split in half, removed from the pond. That's going to go in the shed, stored. So sky pond, I'm not going to leave the sky pond on. If I was going away for a little while, there's no point in me leaving that on because it'll only go green. I'm not here to manage it, so I'm trying to remove a lot of things that I have to manage on a daily basis when I'm here. So I'm going to remove this. So this would just be a case of getting it washed out, getting it cleaned up, getting it dried, and I would probably store this in the garage for the duration I've been away. And then when I come back, it's just a case of putting it back on, sucking the water out. Easy life. Dry all the water off the window so we don't get any marks on it, I suppose, from, you know, water marks. And this thing goes in the garage, stored out of the way. But what about the frame? So really the frame now, I've got the frame out and I'm going to store this as well. Perfect opportunity to check it over, take some of the welds, it's all covered in green. I might wash it off before I put it away for however long I was going to be away. But it looks like it's held up really well. Yeah, there's no rust on it or anything. It's, as I said in the video, that how I made this, well, I'll put either there or in the description as well, is is that yeah, it's all out of stainless and it's TIG welded, so it isn't rusting underwater, which is fantastic. So I haven't had to paint it. The only bits that I've done is these bits on the outside of the water that make it blend with the copers, so that you can't really tell it's there. It's almost like a body of water floating in midair. Anyways, so I'm just going to give this a quick wash off, and then goes in storage as well. Right, next job, if I was going away for an amount of time, filters. What would I do with the filters? First thing I'd do with the filters is I wouldn't keep any of my filter floss in. I'm going to show you in a minute the filter floss here in my filters at the moment. Yeah, I'm changing it every 4 to 5 days at the moment. If I was going away for, I don't know, for a week or even 2 weeks, this filter floss would not make it through. It would block up, give me some big problems in the filter system. So I'm going to remove all the filter floss and not replace it for the duration I was away, so that I've got a free-flowing filter system that hopefully is not going to get blocked anywhere. So anyways, let's just get this filter floss out. So just imagine if I'd have left this in for any more than another 4 or 5 days. So I would, if I went on holiday, I wouldn't put any more filter floss. I'd take it all out the system, because it does a cracking job. But for the sake of it potentially blocking up, then no, I'm going to take it all out, leave it out. Right, so what about the rest of the pond then? I've got a really open, exposed pond. Open to the sunlight, open to the elements, open to whatever, predators even. So what about, how am I going to leave this for the next, I don't know, say if I was away for a week or 2 weeks, how long would I leave that for the duration of my holiday? What I'm going to do, winter covers. I've had them sitting behind the shed now for a little while. So because my pond is so exposed to the elements, I'm going to stick 1 or 2 of these covers on. You know, so the fish can still get daylight, but they get protection from the sun and protection from any predators. They've got somewhere to hide. Other than that, nowhere to hide. So I'm going to put a couple of these covers on. Fish should be thinking it's winter. Not yet, guys. Not yet. Right, another little idea I've got is what I'd do with the power supplies. So for example, my pump and my air. How do I know when I'm somewhere abroad that the pumps are okay or the air's not gone off? So what I've got is, I've mentioned these in the past, these TP-Links. You can get loads of different kind of smart plugs. This is just the 2 that I use, and I usually use this for things like Christmas decorations under the tree. You know, instead of crawling under the tree to turn the lights on and off, I usually put one of these in and then just time it so they come on or off. Or I tell Google to turn them on or off, and they turn them off without me having to, we'll get the kids to crawl under the tree. Not me, too big for that. So yeah, I use these TP-Links smart Wi-Fi plugs, and I've already linked one to my air supply, and I'm going to link this one to my pump supply, so that at any point when I'm on holiday I can just go on my phone, see what's happening. If the power is off, then I can try to repower it back on from wherever I am in the world. If it still won't work, then I'm on the phone to whoever's looking after things while I'm away to pop in and have a look, rather than just turn up, all surprised, looks okay, and leave again when the pump's not running. So that's another little idea. TP-Links. They're not expensive, you get them off, and there's loads of other different types to get. This is just the type that I choose because I can do it Wi-Fi on my phone, I can link it to time it and all that kind of stuff. So what about security cameras? How do we utilise them? So this is the view through my security cameras. As you can see all the back of the yard, but you can also see the pond, which is the main bit, but you can't really see that close. So the security camera that I have is a Eufy, which is completely wireless. So you can move it from where it is now to here if you want, so you can see all the fish really closely. So these Eufy cameras, security cameras, I can move them around wherever I want, but it gives me another option. So I can view these wherever I am in the world and be able to raise the alarm back home if I see something that's gone wrong. So yeah, security cameras, another little option. Right, the rest of the filters, the brushes. So I'd definitely take these brushes out and just give them a good rinsing through. With this end I don't mind, it's tap water, pond water, whatever's available to be honest, because these aren't biological, these are just mechanical. So these just pull out the big chunks of stuff. So I've just taken all these out of my vortex and out of my second bay, and I've given them a rinse through, got rid of the water out of my vortex. I'm going to let the second bay settle, and any sediment in there with my siphoner. Anybody new to the channel, got to get one of these. These are essential for your ponding. These save you so much water. Just aquarium siphoners, fantastic. Anybody new to the channel, brilliant. Anybody who's been with the channel for a while, yeah, we've heard that before, Andy. And they are good though. So yeah, so these fantastic. Got to get one of these because they save you a load of water if you just want to siphon the bits out the bottom. Right, my next 3 bays are moving biological. So these are the ones. We've then got Jack matting, and then the last bay Jack matting. So all I'm going to do with the moving biological KK1000 is nothing whatsoever, because that self cleans itself. So everything from the bay prior to that has come from this biological KK1000 moving bed and has fallen into that bay. So that bay's done. I haven't got to worry about that. The next 2 bays, the Japanese matting, all I'm going to do with those is I'm going to rinse them through with 2 or 3 bucketfuls of pond water, rinse them through thoroughly so that they're pretty washed through, and then that'll be it. So they'll be nice and clear for any water that's coming through, so there'll be no filter floss on them. They'll just, the water will be able to run clearly through them. And I mean, these have been in now for 6 or 7 weeks and they're not even blocked up yet, but because I can't see at the bottom of them, and I don't want to start pulling them out because I start disturbing the beneficial bacteria, I'm just going to wash them through so they're nice and clean with pond water, not disturbed, not shaken around. I'm just going to leave them nice and steady, and then they'll be ready then for if I was away for 2 weeks with no issues there. Right, so filter's done. Quick recap, took brushes out, get rid of all mechanical, moving bed didn't touch because it self-cleans itself, 2 Jack matting bays at the end, rinsed them through with half a dozen buckets of pond water, just to wash all the silt out and put it on the garden or out down the waste or wherever it's going to go. So that's it. The UV I will leave on because there's no point turning it off, I might as well let it run. Even if it fails, it doesn't matter, that means the pond just goes green. So for me, leave it on. When I get back, hopefully the pond is still pretty clear. You know, at the moment my pond's quite green because of my previous dosing going on for Costia. So at the moment I'm still trying to catch up with the green water and whatnot. So that's the filters out of the way. So what about feeding? Right, feeding the fish. I'm told that you don't need to feed your fish if you're going away for a week, 10 days, even 2 weeks. But what if you kind of think, yeah, but I've got him to habit of feeding and I need to get a bit of food inside him while they're away. And also, what if something does go wrong? So you look on your camera, you find out your water level's dropped, you find your pump stopped, you find your air stopped. What do you do then? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got a Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. What the hell have I been roped into now?
So I've said to Dave, just do, I think he said he's going to come round maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times while we're away. So he would just come in, grab a handful, chuck a handful in, that's it. And then 2-3 days later, if he can make it again, great. But as I said, you don't have to feed your fish if you're away for maybe 10 to 15 days, because a lot of them feed off the bottom, but I've got a Dave, so I'll be able to sort that. What I've also done is I would take a number from my local dealer, somebody you can rely on and knows that will be coming and help you along. So I would use maybe Steve from Pencoy, give Dave the number. So in an emergency, if I pick up on something while I'm away, or if Dave came round and picked up on something there, emergency, help Steve, can you help me? He'd be able to come round and sort the problem. So there you go, that's what I'd do when I was going on holiday. And on that bombshell, thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, subscribe down the bottom, like, ding the bell for notification, and share to all your friends. Thanks very much for watching. This was Koi Pond Lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Dave. I usually catch fish on the end of a rod. This is unusual. Hi, I'm Dave. I get all the shite jobs. Hi, I'm Dave. If I bring my rod round, do I have to return them?